I've got another $1,000 for you here in about 10 minutes. 30 past every hour. Be listening for those keywords because they come pretty fast and furious. From the Buzzard Bookie, I'll have 4 of you winning $1,000 this afternoon. So listen for those. Cavs win by 1 last night. Guardians lose by 1 run. But that's probably the way you want that to play out with the Cavaliers.
Yeah, I'll take the Cavs win over the
104 to 103.
The last game of baseball in April is not as high stakes.
Still plenty of baseball to be played in Major League Baseball. Yeah, so Cavs by 1
that
last
game was
night.
stressful.
A nail biter.
Yeah.
A legit, full-on NBA playoff nail biter.
And that was a 1-point win for the Cavs, and it was a crazy game, and still not even the craziest game that happened last night because the Knicks and 76ers was an insane game too.
I didn't see any of that.
Oh, I was paying attention to the Cavs game, then I saw what was going on with that, so I was just checking highlights as it happened, and the Sixers were down 6 points with 23 seconds left, and were able to tie the game up and then win in overtime.
Was that in New York?
Yeah.
And so
New York,
the Knicks out?
No, but the Knicks were up 3-1, and they're like, this is the first time in 25 years that the Knicks will have an opportunity to win a playoff series at home. And so everybody's just super hyped up, and they're, Mary's seen it. Knicks fans are insane. They are crazy people that this is a religion to them, and so them losing last night in overtime to one of their biggest rivals was
at the Garden.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just so defeated.
Spike Lee and Jason Bateman and Howard Stern were probably all flipping their wigs.
Yep.
There on the sidelines. Well, the Celtics could finish off the Heat tonight. The Pacers might finish off the Bucks tomorrow. And God willing.
Well, the Pacers had a chance to finish off the Bucks last night.
I know.
And get it done.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they can. I think that's going to go 7.
I thought for sure the Bucks were going to take that series pretty easily. So I was kind of surprised that it.
Damian Lillard's been out a game or two. Giannis hasn't played at all because he's been injured. So that's just one of those things where the Bucks are just completely decimated.
Hobbled, yeah. So anyway, Cavs could finish the Magic tomorrow night. They go back to Orlando. Let's hope that they have Romo Fijo luck at the Kia Center, which they did not last time they played them in Orlando, those last 2 games. So Cavs, Magic tomorrow night. I still see the time is TBD.
Yeah.
But it will.
I thought it was at 7. I just think the television's TBD.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's 7.
TBD. Well, anyway, the Guardians game will be here on MMS tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, it's all TBD.
All TBD. They don't know when they're gonna play.
Well, because they got so many games.
Right. So that'll be tomorrow night. Your Cavaliers tomorrow night will be on WTAM. Your Cleveland Guardians will be here on MMS.
Well, it also depends because if Boston wins tonight, that series is over.
Oh, boy.
And so then they'll just have the Cavs in that 7 p.m. spot on ESPN.
Gesundheit.
Bless you.
10-9 was the final there in Houston. Astros over the Guardians last night. 8-10 tonight is the second of 3. So you'll hear that, of course, here on MMS. 7:40 is that pregame. They're already changing those Major League Baseball uniforms. I saw that. The see-through pants.
Yeah, too many D prints.
They were like, yeah. Guys running round and third with pecker tracks on their uniform, and they weren't really into that. So, yeah, Major League Baseball, the players had so many complaints, and you could see right through their pants. And this is basically Nike going, how could we cut our costs down to the bone for Major League Baseball? How can we send them some cheap-ass uniforms? And so they're going to figure out what to do there. They're going to change some of the designs. A lot of finger-pointing with this, but nobody could have thought that it was a good idea. They said that they will return to the high-quality zipper that they used last time. And they want to get rid of the see-through fabric. And I think that's probably pretty good. Get rid of the see-through fabric. Alan, you were talking about the Funny Bus. Didn't Mary get her mic turned off last year on the Funny Bus?
Yeah. The girl who was running it, I guess she didn't like how much I was chiming in and making people laugh, so she shut my mic off.
Right.
I was like, what the hell, dude?
Well,
And
that's
she
the
was
tough
like, what?
thing,
Do you have
'cause-
something to add?
Right. That's why there's a little bit of navigating this because obviously, you know, the comics are doing the tour part.
Right.
They're giving you all the information, but of course we are there to kind of host. We're the ones telling people to come out and hang with us. So
Right.
you do have to, you want to kind of dip in every so often. But I misspoke, by the way. Devotion to accuracy. That Cavs game, of course, is Friday night. That is not tomorrow night. Friday, TBD. The Cavs go back to Orlando for Game 6, and hopefully they can pull that off. Now, let's be real. The Cavs will lose to whatever team they play next. But it's still fun to watch. It's a great team. Why let the magic go on, for God's sake? But that's what we're looking at now. I sent you guys a video of that. A dude got shot a couple of blocks from our studio here.
Crazy.
I guess I saw a news article about it. I guess he just got grazed.
Well, I didn't quite
Still.
understand. I'll show everybody the video if they're watching the live stream and they haven't seen it. This was in front of Corner Alley. It was right there on the corner. So literally a couple of blocks from where we are here now.
East 4th and Euclid.
Yeah. And two guys arguing, and the one guy slaps the other dude. The dude goes right for the gun. I don't know why you'd slap anybody these days, boy. I assume everybody is strapped now. Open carry, no permit. Welcome to Ohio. I don't know what people are. I know there's all this like macho nonsense where you're not going to let somebody get one over on you. But I couldn't. Here, I'll play this for people who haven't seen it. This was on the corner. This is midway through our show
today?
yesterday. This is at 3:30 yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
Everybody just out here.
Yeah, slaps the guy. He's got his hand in his pocket the whole time they're having their verbal altercation. The guy slaps him across the cheek. The other dude, hand out of pocket, pistol in hand, right? They said that an employee got grazed.
Yeah, but that doesn't look like employees.
That's what I'm saying. Unless that guy, I assumed that maybe that was a dude who had gotten off his shift or something, but I don't know. I'm like, if an employee got hit, they would have had to have been across the street. Nobody got like shot.
It's crazy that guy didn't get just his head blown off.
Dude,
because
it looked, this kid's reflexes must have just been state of the art because it looked exactly like this dude got shot in the head.
Yeah.
The guy who tweeted the video said, I saw this today in Cleveland. I actually had to leave Chicago to see a shooting. And I was curious. I'm like, you did? Are you visiting from Chicago? Because if you live there, you've seen probably a half a dozen people get shot. But, yeah, it was pretty wild. Yeah, right. I'm just telling you, man, I see anybody getting agitated and they have a hand in their pocket.
Yeah, walk away.
I mean, I'm not getting into verbal altercations with people in the first place, but these two dudes on the corner. And listen, people argue in the street all the time. You know, most times something like this probably doesn't end with somebody, pulling out a revolver and shooting the guy. But because the people filming, they're like on the patio there at Corner Alley, and they're just kind of chuckling. Because why wouldn't you? A couple of dudes getting into it.
Everybody just out here.
Yeah. So then what do you do? I don't know. It ain't good for business. Know that. One grazed, one arrested. After downtown shooting is what it said. So, yeah. Come downtown. It'll be great. It'll be fun.
I don't know if I've ever been that mad at anyone. Like, I've been that mad at, like, people that I've been arguing with, sure. But, like, they're in my life. I've never been that mad at a stranger.
Well, I don't know the nature of these. These guys might have known each other. I don't know the nature of this situation
well,
here.
I figured based on them telling each other how gangster they were, they didn't know each other. They had to let each other know I'm a real deal.
Yeah, well, one of those guys got the upper hand in that particular argument since he had a gun already in the pocket of his sweatpants.
Yeah, if a guy's wearing a big baggy hoodie like that and it's 75 degrees out, there's a reason.
Well, he pulled it out of his pants pocket, though. It wasn't like his starter jacket or anything. This dude's wearing sweatpants. He's got it in his pants pocket.
But he's like covering up with the baggy hoodie.
3:25 yesterday afternoon. So we were
right here.
Now, again, we're not in that front window studio anymore, and perhaps, granted, that's too far away for it to have happened anywhere where we would have seen people running.
I wonder if they might have. Well, would you hear a gunshot? You'd hear a gun.
I don't think so. No.
We heard skateboards through that window.
Yeah, but that's because they're creating vibrations on the whole length of sidewalk, so you can hear that rumble go down. But I don't. You hear a pop at like East 4th and Euclid. I mean, I wouldn't even give that a second thought. Arrested a man, 26 years old, and found a gun on him. It's some hard living, boy. That guy does not look 26. No. He looks 46. So, yeah, pretty wild. Thank you to whoever sent me that, because I would not have seen that. A customer sent me that. And pretty wild. The guy might have been burned by the muzzle flash because it was so close, and calling that a graze, or was there a third person off camera, people are asking. I don't know. I read that article a couple of times, and at first I was like, oh, my God, we're watching a dude get shot in the head. And then they were like, nobody got killed or seriously hurt, really. Somebody got grazed, but then they said it was an employee that got grazed. I'm like, well, was this dude walking out and got into some kind of conversation with just, there's all manner of passers-by down there in East 4th and people talking to themselves and, But, man, I just assume everyone is potentially packing. How bad of a shot do you have to be to graze somebody at point blank? I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to kill the guy. In that moment's notice. I was
just going to say, do you think that was on purpose?
I think him
blow his head off.
I think him firing was on. That dude went right for it.
Missing, like him not hitting him directly in the face.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but he pointed it at him. He didn't point it in the air. It wasn't like some kind of warning shot to scare people off. I don't know. I got money here for you, as promised. It's $1,000. It's courtesy of the Buzzard bookie. So listen closely to all these keywords, and good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Grand. That's grand. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
A lot of shootings going on. They had a lockdown at a Wisconsin middle school today. There was a shooting. One person got killed at the Waffle House near Ohio State. And I'm going to show you this, not because of the story itself. There's nothing particularly remarkable about the story itself. But I want to show you the video of the coverage, the aftermath here, and especially the guy that this television station sent out to cover this. And I want you to tell me if you notice anything about him, if you can see this. This is a reporter named Mike McCarthy, I think is his name here. And he's with one of the local Columbus television stations. He's giving everybody the rundown of this shooting at the Waffle House near OSU.
At this point is now fully open. This is the first time this morning we have been able to tell you that, because moments ago police did just leave. You can see the traffic here now moving behind us without...
The guy's ears. Is anybody just transfixed by the guy's ears? This guy's ears are so goddamn big.
Satellite dishes.
When he turns sideways, they look perfectly normal. It's like an optical illusion.
It's because they stick out.
But his lobes connect to the bottom of his jaw or something.
Not that big.
Holy cow.
He's got a kind of
issues right near the campus area. The focus of this investigation has been this Waffle House right here over my shoulder. Police were here for hours overnight, gathering the evidence right across the street from Ohio State's campus. Let's take you back to the overnight hours here and walk you through.
Oh, let's walk you through this. You got to love when you get sent on a story like this, because, again, there's nothing remarkable about the story. But if you're the reporter, all you're thinking in your head is, this is going on my sizzle reel. Every opportunity you have to be out in the field, that's part of your sizzle reel. So he has to make it seem really, really dramatic and impactful. Now, a person did die in this. Somebody got shot. And again, I don't know that I've ever seen, and there's all kinds of weird architecture on college campuses. You know how they'll shoehorn a place into, this is like a storefront Waffle House. I've never seen one like that. I've only ever seen standalone Waffle Houses. But across the street from Ohio State, they have a big long, it's like a residential row of stores. And they just cram a Waffle House into one of these storefronts. And somebody got shot about 2 a.m. And they sent this dude out. Now, I imagine they sent him out because wherever the station is situated, This guy probably heard the shots. Because of those giant ears.
Yeah, I know why you said
it. Again, I don't know how people get on television anymore. God bless them. But I don't know. It's like it is the island of misfit toys on TV now. I don't know how anybody. Who are the people they said no thank you to when they got their tape?
They're probably desperate, man.
What's that?
They're probably desperate for people where they're like, you have to film this by yourself on your iPhone. You have no backup. We're not going to walk you through it. You know what I mean? Like, you got to do your own hair, makeup, wardrobe, and you have to have it done in the next 7 minutes.
Yeah, but that's been the case for a while. MMJ, what they call them, a multimedia journalist or whatever it is, which is a fancy way of saying you got to go set up your own rig. You got to do it all yourself. There's no more field producers. I mean, obviously, bigger markets have those, sure. You'll have a boom guy and a field producer. But for the most part, a lot of these stringers have to go out and set it up and blah, blah, blah. And for some of them, all they're doing now is setting up their iPhone on a tripod. They're not setting up a camera.
Yeah.
For a live thing, you would have to do it that way. But it's been like that for like 15 years. It's only in the past few years I've noticed just the people. Now, granted, television stations, they're going to look for people right out of like broadcasting school or J school or whatever because you can pay them nothing, especially in super small markets. But by the time you get to a market the size of Cleveland, I mean, you better have more hotties than naughties. And we got some hotties on Cleveland television. You got Natalie Herbeck. You got Laura Queso. You got, who else? I'm sure that you got Maureen Kyle. I'm sure. Who? Wayne Dawson?
Wayne Dawson, yeah.
Skin
that
flute.
little sex pod.
Extraordinaire.
Oh, he was the skin flute guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Yeah, but people love Wayne Dawson. Yeah. He's one of those guys.
He's been on TV my entire life.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know if he's from here, but if you can get on a television station and park it, ingratiate yourself with it, you're there for the rest of your life. I was reading about this guy, Rob Marciano, who has been a network weather guy for a long time. I saw him just the other night. He was out in the field in Nebraska. They had him on site reporting on the tornadoes that had gone through the Plains states, right? This guy, Rob Marciano, if you watch Good Morning America, you know who this guy is. Good-looking dude, mid-50s. He easily looks 10 years younger. And he's been on ABC Network for a while. We'll watch only time, Gwen will usually watch the nightly news on ABC. This guy, David Muir, is the anchor, and he'll throw it to this Rob Marciano guy. They use this guy a lot. This guy got himself fired because he was just a dick to everybody. And I'm like, you are a network weatherman. You can keep that gig until the day you die. That's the one gig on television that they're not forcing people out because they're too old, right? Dick Goddard was 115 years old. This Rob Marciano guy, good-looking dude. Maybe somebody else will pick him up. But they're like, this guy just made everybody's life hell. He was a dick to everybody. And he's been there for like 10, 15 years. I'm like, dude, like you're a weather guy on national television. You got to work to screw that up. And they were like, yeah, he was just not nice to the. You got to be nice to the people who work with you.
Mm-hmm. You
And
don't have to do anything.
What's that?
You don't have to do
Well,
anything.
if you want to keep your job.
Well, I'm just saying it's not 1987 anymore, right? Where if you're some big kahuna in television, you can just walk around. The days of like the Matt Lauers and the Les Moonves, that's over. Those days of like the locked door and that's all gone. So apparently this dude didn't get the memo and they fired the guy. I'm like, Jesus, what a bummer. Just keep it between the ditches, man, and you can have especially as a meteorologist, TV weather, you can have that job forever because it's completely agnostic. Nobody knows what you think about anything. Nobody knows what your opinions are. You're not going to get in trouble. People might be pissed because you said it was going to rain and it didn't. Whatever.
Oh, people are still terrible to you, especially with social media, especially the women, where they just are completely nitpicking their appearance and their dictation, everything they say.
But again, it's baked into the cake. I mean, you're on television. That's part of it, you know. A friend of mine was that I went to college with. She was a weather person on television in Orlando for like 25 years. She just, you know, she's my age, but she finally called it quits for television. And she was like, yeah, you know, people come up to you in the grocery store and tell you they don't like your hair or that you look too old on, you know, things like that.
Though.
Yeah. And so she's like, but she couldn't have been sweeter. I mean,
but it's also one of those things.
That's part of it, you know.
That's something that the older generation does more, I feel like, than the younger generation.
Yeah, but that's who's watching television.
Right.
Right. But I mean, I think people are pretty vocal about when they don't like you. Maybe they won't come up to you in the grocery
Well,
store.
that's
right,
what
but I'm saying
not
like,
to your face.
like to your face or to just, especially like in person, because there's a lot of people. My interactions with people from the show is that older people are the ones that are just like meh, whereas the younger people are like, oh, like even if they don't like me, they'll be like, whatever. They won't say anything.
One dude on Instagram found my roommate's Instagram and then sent her a message and was like, you'll soon find out why everyone hates Mary.
Oh, God.
Like, you'll see her for what she
Message
really
your
is.
friend?
She didn't even
My roommate.
She didn't even message me back.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to out you, dude. I wasn't going to out you, but I did want to bring it up on the show. But yeah, people go out of their way, I feel like, to make it known that they don't like you. Maybe, yeah, you're right. Maybe not so much in person, but, I mean, to friggin' send my roommate a DM.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to do.
Wow.
You're so stupid. Why do you even like her? You're going to soon find out.
That's
I
so
like that. I like
weird.
that phrase, though. You'll soon find out.
You'll soon find out. All right, I've got to take a break. If you want those Opeth tickets, do you like Swedish prog metal? Well, sure you do. And they're on the road, and they're going to come and play for you. They're going to do the Agora in October. You'll be sitting on them for a bit, but I will hand you those coming back.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go.